Hello, good evening, everybody. Ethan here from Investing Note. Okay, we have people coming into the webinar. Let's just wait a few minutes before we start the webinar. All right. Hope everybody has been having a great evening. Okay. So just some house rules. If you have any questions at the point of time during the webinar, please put it into the Q&A section. Do not put it into the chat. All right. Only questions in the Q&A section will be answered. Thank you. Okay, let's just wait a few minutes. Hope everybody is having a good evening. So today we have quite a few guests with us from Phillip Capital. All right. So okay. All right. Let's wait a little more. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Ethan here from Investing Note. As you know, Investing Note, we actually do a lot of webinars, but this time round, the webinar is different. This is actually about, exploring career opportunities in the financial industries, right? So today we have a few special guests with us. Francis Lee, who is the Director of Partnership, Laurie, who is from the Talent Acquisition Team, Ryan Tan, who is our Portfolio Manager, and Thomas Ng, who is the Principal Trading Representative. Right? Say hi, guys.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah,
hello.
They can see you. All right.
Hello,
so, yeah, awesome. All right. So, at any point in time, if you have any questions, please put it in the Q&A. All right. So, they will try to answer your questions at the end of the webinar. All right. So, without further ado, I hand my time over to Lenny. Lenny, please.
Hi, everyone. Really thanks. First, Ethan, for facilitating this webinar. All the participants for spending the evening with us. So I have here in today's webinar my team as shown on the screen. Okay, and perhaps what we'll do is we will start off with a short introduction of Phillip Capital corporate video. Okay, all right.
What are your hopes and dreams? What if you could plan your life better? At Phillip Capital, we understand every client is unique. Your financial needs evolve over time. An Asian integrated financial house with global operations, we are well versed to address your needs and make your investment journey smoother. Our humble beginnings as a broker in Singapore began in 1975. Today, with more than 5,000 employees across the globe, we serve retail and high net worth individuals, family offices, corporate and institutional customers. Over 1 million clients entrust Phillip Capital with more than $35 billion in assets under management. Phillip Capital was the first to bring online trading platform Poems to Singapore retail investors in 1996. Today, with our wide range of trading platforms and mobile apps, including Poems 2.0, you can trade conveniently and gain leveraged access to global futures, forex, and bullion. As a strong proponent for investor education, we strive to keep you informed through research reports and charting tools. Seminars and webinars are also regularly held to promote financial literacy. At Phillip Capital, we also empower you to monitor your portfolio with My Wealth app. If you lack time to self-monitor, tap on the investment expertise of our professional portfolio managers. Our financial advisors will advise you on investment instruments such as equities or mutual funds available across our network offices. Besides investment goals, you may have protection and saving needs. We offer regular savings plans and a wide range of insurance products to protect you and your loved ones. We can also cater to your estate needs in local and international properties through our property consultancy arm. At Phillip Capital, we believe in thinking global and acting local. Our Phillip Investor Centres and branches across our network offices are strategically located to offer you a one-stop solution to all your financial needs. We provide solutions with API capabilities, online trading, wealth management platform solutions to over 100 financial institutions across the Asia-Pacific region, enabling our B2B partners and their clients the convenience to trade global markets seamlessly. We also provide advisory solutions on corporate finance matters such as IPO, mezzanine financing, and corporate restructuring. With over 45 years of expertise and growth fueled by our clients' trust, Phillip Capital has grown into an integrated financial house with a growing global presence. We seek to continue to listen, understand, and to make your investment journey smoother. We are your partner in finance.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the short video that we got it ready for you. Thank you, Lini, and most importantly, thanks, Ethan, for organizing this. Hi, my name is Francis, and I'm with Phillip Capital, and the rest of my colleagues. Let me just reintroduce them again with their photographs so that you can put a name to a face. All right, I have my colleague Lini, whom I spoke just now, as well as Ryan, who's our portfolio manager, and Thomas Ng, our principal trading representative. Later on, you'll be hearing more from them. Okay, so without further ado, let me just start off very quickly with today's presentation. Can we move to the next slide, please? Yeah, I'd like to start off with a quote from our chairman who started Phillip 45 years ago. This was in line with our 45th anniversary. I think what comes out from his message is that Phillip is in the business for the long haul, for our customers, for our sales force, and the company. We do not leave any of these factors behind. Whatever that we do, it must be for the long haul benefits to our customers, our sales force, and company, not either. All right, this is the core essence of Phillip for the past 45 years. Right, of course, if you want to read the article, you can scan the QR code at the bottom right. You can scan the QR code that will take you to the article by The Age, which was published on the 17th of July. Okay, moving on. Moving on, please. Right, Phillip, as most of you will have known us, is a stockbroker. All right, I hope none of you thinks that we are Phillip that sells light bulbs. That's I have people telling me that, do you sell light bulbs? Are you a security firm? None of those, but most of you probably will know us as a stockbroking house. But also, what I like to reiterate today is that we have gone beyond stockbroking. All right, we started as a stockbroking house, as you can see in the video, but we have gone beyond that. We are now an integrated Asian financial house with a global reach. That is why in the video we say we think global or we act local. We have about 15 network companies across the world. I think the latest addition to our global network office is Vietnam. We spread as far as North America, as far south as Australia. We also trade in 26 stock exchanges through our PoEMS platform. So right now, I think you all will know, as we are speaking, the US market is going crazy. So, and US market is probably our second or third largest traded market within Phillip. We also distribute mutual funds. To date, we distribute more than 2,000 mutual funds. Again, also on our PoEMS platform. We are also into risk-based products. We work with 35 insurers, general as well as life insurance companies. And with all that, we are able to provide the clients with more than 40,000 financial products. That, for a company of our size, a local company, is, you know, really beyond stockbroking. Okay, moving on. In Phillip, we believe in high tech, as in our PoEMS platform, our PoEMS mobile. On the same note, we also believe in the high touch. I believe we are probably the only stockbroking house that has about 15 outlets, branches, physical branches across the island. In fact, more than some of the foreign offshore banks that are allowed to operate branches in Singapore. I know for sure we have more branches than Citibank, probably about the same number of branches as Maybank. And of course, not comparing ourselves with the local banks, but if we look at us with the offshore banks, we believe very much on the high touch, apart from the high tech. We believe in being the face of the neighborhood. And you can see that the investor centers, they are well spread across shop houses, shopping centers, and recently we are moving into offices. Sorry, we are moving our investor centers into prominent offices. I think the new one that will be opening soon, within a month or so. Okay, so that is our commitment. Besides, you know, the platform, the high touch. Okay, let's move on.
Wow, you know, Francis, I think you shared things that I know Phillip is a well-known household name in the brokerage industry, but I've never thought that, you know, Phillip has so many employees and so much of this Phillip investor centers, because I personally see it in the neighborhoods, but I never thought that there was so much, right? So you shared about how Phillip has a lot of different financial products, including working with insurance partners. Then as a business on the ground, what is PhillipCapital really like? Could you share a bit more on that?
Thank you, Ethan. I think I'll leave that to Lini to share with you. Lini is our talent acquisition head, and I think, Lini, you want to take over this segment?
Okay, thanks, Francis. Thanks, Ethan. I think that's a very good question that we would love to share with all the audience today, with the viewers, with the participants today. Today, we will share more about PhillipCapital's multi-product and multi-license infrastructure. Okay. These simple slides show you the range of products and services that we have. Right. We will explain later on into the webinar this three terms: transactional, advisory, and discretionary, that we will be using a lot today, the terms. Okay, but just take note in the three columns, you know, what are the products within transactional? They are mainly the stock and shares family. Okay. And then within advisory, that's when you have other part of financial planning, including protection, insurance, unit trusts, and so on and so forth. And of course, later on, we will also explain to you the meaning of discretionary, okay, in this business model that we have in Phillip Capital. But essentially, what we want to do to emphasize to you is you should define your own business when you are with Phillip Capital. Okay, everything is there for you, but you are who you are, right? So define your business according to your preference, according to where your passion is, according to where you intend to build your business model. Okay.
So thanks for sharing, Lini. So I understand that, of course, Phillip has been known as one of the market leaders in the brokerage industry. So how has trading actually changed, since like 20, 30 years ago? I think there's this big whole, everything is becoming electronic, right? So, and I'd like to find out if, the businesses and the careers have really actually evolved in that kind of manner. So could you share more light on that as well?
Most certainly, Ethan. I think business in the 20, 30 years ago is very different from what business it is today, for a few reasons. One, I think clients' expectations have changed tremendously. In the past, it would be a lot easier, a lot simpler. Client is not so knowledgeable. They are quite easily, satisfied with just a single financial solutions. But a lot of people would then ask, is brokerage a sunset industry? Definitely no. If brokerage is a sunset industry, then it would be very sad for the almost 4,000 over remisiers out there in the market. But like I was saying, things have changed. Expectation has moved up. Client has become more knowledgeable. Social media play a big part. There are many factors that has come in. Our industry is not spared from all the technological evolutions. We have to reinvent ourselves. If you look at this chart depicts the financial hierarchy of a person. Well, not necessarily everyone would go through this financial pyramid, but I would say the affluent and the mass affluent clientele would have to tick all these boxes within the financial pyramid, as we call it, starting from the most basic risk management needs right up to legacy planning. Our Singaporeans have amassed a lot more wealth than 45 years ago. All right, I mean, it is a given. And when they have amassed all this wealth, there must be a way for someone to help them manage this wealth. If you look at Singapore in the 70s or the 80s, and compare it to the financial pyramid here, you probably end somewhere near wealth preservation and probably would not venture into estate planning nor legacy planning. But we are now in the fluent society. We are now a first world country. We need solutions for all these financial issues that we are facing. All right. So why I bring this up, it is because we understand this and we understand the needs of the clients, and we want and are ready to value add to the client. And Phillip has the capacity and the products to meet all these needs that you see on this pyramid. Okay, so let's move on. Now, in our present times, okay, what has also changed is customers' expectation. Now, in the past, when a person is doing sales, all right, I've been in the business for about 30 years. One of the biggest contention that we have always been debating is about client ownership. Who owns the client? The banks will claim that they own their clients. You know, insurance companies will claim that they own their clients. Stockbroking house, you know, brokers, financial advisory firms would claim the same. Client ownership is a thing of the past. Singapore does not have a big population. So client ownership over time have evolved into what I call client loyalty, or in the layman term, stickability. If you want to do well in this business, you must be able to make your client stick on to you. All right. The banks are trying very hard to do it, you know, with, you know, OCBC's 360 DBS multiplier. All these strategies is actually to increase stickability of clients. If you look at this chart, it depletes what I was trying to say. If a client has only one product transaction with you, to me, I don't even want to call him a client. It's probably just a customer. The chances of you losing that customer is 50% over the next 12 months if he has only one product transaction with you. But if you move down the bar, all right, and increase it to 2 product transactions, the client risk of leaving you cuts down by half. And if at the end of the spectrum, if you look at, if you are able to work with this client and fulfill 4 of his needs and beyond, I can very safely tell you this client is yours for life, because the chances of him leaving you is only down to 5%. So in our modern days of sales, we are no more talking about client ownership, because at the end of the day, we need to know that the client actually owns themselves. They don't belong to anybody. But stickability matters. And why we want to bring this up, again, it falls back on our ability, our comprehensive product to be able to meet with multiple needs of the client and increase the stickability for you. Okay, let's move on. This is a case study of one of our reps, and this is again to demonstrate the amount of stickability and product diversity that we have within Phillip. Some of it might be a little bit technical, but I think the audience are quite investment savvy, so I don't think I need to, I think I can be slightly more technical on this. So you can see that, 27% of his client comes from insurance, stockbroking to another 27%, unit trust, recurring income, all right. Overrides is because he's a team manager, so he gets overrides from his sales team. And when his income composition is so diversified, it means that his client are multi-product with him. Okay, let's move on.
All right, thank you, Francis, for the insightful sharing on how customers today have many needs as compared to 30, 20 years ago even. So I think you also shared about the financial pyramid, right? There's a long list of things that we can address the client's needs. So I think the next question is what are the different tracks and the career progression that Phillip Capital can offer people, audiences in this financial industry?
Okay, Ethan, I will take that question, okay, because it is related to my earlier slide, right? Remember, I said I want to use these 3 terms: transactional, advisory, and discretionary. Okay, you will notice how the arrow points to the right. okay, because ultimately that's what we are trying to achieve here. This is actually about trust continuum, okay? When the level of trust just start, and okay, like when you just begin a relationship with your client or your customer, okay, it is probably on a transactional mode, okay? Now, as you then move on to advise and take care of more aspects of clients' investment and wealth, okay, that's when you move to the advisory mode. The level of trust increases, okay, and on the extreme right is what you call discretionary, okay, where they will say, hey, Ethan, you know, I have been with you for the past 5 years, okay, don't come to me on, do I want this, do I want that? I just leave it in your full discretionary, I leave the full trust to you to manage my money, because I've been with you long enough, I know how you function, okay? So this is really what we are trying to explain here, to achieve that trust continuum where the slider goes all the way to the right, where client, again linking to what Francis said earlier, unlikely will leave you anymore because the level of trust is so high. I mean, anyone would love to have someone that they can trust and then, you know, enjoy their life from there on, because this person will take care of his financial planning and his insurance planning. Okay, now that brings me to this next slide, yeah, where I draw a slight line, where I put transactional on the left, where what you earn is actually what you call active income. Active income means you must always work for it, okay? If there is no transaction, there is no active income. Okay, as you move to the continuum of trust to the right, within advisory and discretionary, you see a new bubble coming up called recurring income. Now, this is important. As you build your business, as you build your career, you really do not want to start the first day of the month with zero. Okay, that's when your recurring income is very important. Okay, let me explain a bit more on what does it mean. You don't lose your active income, but you want to start building your recurring income. So you are not always chasing for transaction. Okay, now to put it very simply, on the left, okay, these are the 3 different licenses. A bit technical here, if you're not from the industry, there are 3 different licenses that MAS will issue, okay? The first one on the left is trading representative license, okay? In terms of the role, this is what you normally known as remisier or stockbroker, okay? They deal with stock and shares, okay? On the middle and the right, you have the FA license called financial advisory consultant or financial advisor representative. Okay, this is like your independent financial advisor, or like your relationship manager in the bank. Okay, and to the right is what we have, what we call portfolio manager license. Okay, the second and the third is more into insurance and investment. Okay. Let me just show you a very simple, by showing an example, okay? This is a real person, but Victor is not his real name, okay? But it's a real person in Phillip as one of our representatives. He has been with us for 5 years now. I'm just sharing with you his journey with us, okay? In year 1, on the left, you will see Victor joined us as a trading representative. Okay, on the right, it shows his income. Okay, yellow means active income. So you are always chasing for transaction. Okay, his income is from, as a trading representative, that will be transactional or the active income. Okay, now, typically, if you are working in a broking house, okay, can you become also an FA? You can't. Okay, or if you are working in a financial advisory firm, so you are an FA, can you also be a TR? You can't, okay? Because as a company, they do not have that license. But in Phillip Capital, we have the license as a company to provide all these different licenses. And hence, Victor is then able to take on this additional license of what we call FA, and he then become a wealth manager, where he then takes care of not just the stock and shares part of this client, he also can take care of the other spectrum of his financial needs. Okay, now you would see that in year 2, in the bar chart here, you would see that he starts to build the gray portion, which is the recurring income. He no longer start his first day of the month at 0. Okay, and it progresses to year 3, where his gray portion continue to go up. Okay, as you see all the way to the right in year 5, he is no longer chasing so much for active income because he has built a very, very strong recurring income, which is the gray portion. By the time he reaches year 5, his recurring income is almost half already of what his total earning is. 2 points I want to share here. Number 1, it is the importance of having multi-license, where the client doesn't have to go to another person for his other financial needs. It can just all go to Victor. Okay, so Victor realized this, and that's why in year 2, he took on this additional license. You would see that his income, if I break it down to monthly, it started off at 3,000 plus. Okay, at the end of year 5, it's almost 3 times what he started in year 1. Okay, I think this is not, I mean, even if you work for someone, I think if I ask you the question, hey, will I get 3 times my salary in 5 years' time? I don't think that's possible unless you start your own business, which is the model that we have here. It's like an entrepreneur where you really partner with us to start your business. Okay, so this is real numbers, real figures, just that we changed Victor's name a little bit.
All right, thank you for sharing that, Lini. I think it's interesting to know that Phillip is one of the only brokers that actually offer the dual license track for people who are in the industry. So I think right now we come to a point to actually wanting to know how is it really like being a trading rep in Phillip Capital with a dual license. So today we have Thomas Ng, who is a principal trading rep from Phillip Capital, and he's also a chartered market technician as well. So Thomas, say hi. Hi.
Hello, everybody.
Awesome. So Thomas, you'd like to share your journey and your experience so far with Phillip?
That's right. Hello, everybody. My name is Thomas, and a very good evening to you. I'm a principal trading representative with Phillip Capital. I'm also a chartered market technician, or CMT, which basically means I study charts for a living. 20 years in the industry and 17 very good years with Phillip Capital. I started out as what Lini say, a stockbroker or trading rep, servicing retail clients. But now I've moved on to help out my many ultra high net worth clients and corporate clients. I'm also embarking on the dual licensing, which means that in addition to my stockbroking license, I have my financial advisory license. To find out more about me and my work, please go to my website, tom-ng.com. Can we move on to the next slide? Now, the world is your oyster. The beauty about Phillip Capital is that we have we have access to 26 different stock exchanges. And as they always say, finance has no boundaries. I often tell my potential clients that they just need to open one POEMS account as a trading passport to access all the 26 different stock exchanges throughout the world. Now, in addition, Phillip Capital also offers a suite of financial products. As what Francis mentioned earlier, we have fixed income products, bonds, we have unit trusts. We distribute in excess of 1,600 unit trusts. We also have financial advisory, which is in the space of insurance protection and wealth management. Phillip Capital also have a private equity arm that helps to raise capital for the private companies. Now, how do we recession-proof your income with financial advisory products. As you may know, the stock market is not always rosy. There are times where we go through global recessions, 2000 to 2003, 2008 to 2009, and so on. So during this time, where there's a global recession and the markets are quieter, we can take the time out to actually service our clients with our financial advisory products. That will mean the insurance protection and the wealth management products. So in a way, our role will never be redundant, right? And you can actually use this product to protect or cushion your income in that sense. So all in all, Phillip Capital is a company where we have multi-products, multi-platforms company, and we have a lot to offer to our customers. Can we move on to the next slide? Now, this is a very important point. If you're not a brand, you're a commodity. This quote is not said by me. This quote is by Professor Phillip Capital, who is known as the father of modern marketing. Now, in the sea of hairstylists or bankers or aesthetic doctors, how do you stand out among the crowd? What do you stand for? If somebody out there talks about stocks and shares or investment or trading, and the first person they think of is me, that will mean my personal branding program is very, very successful. So again, I want to share with you, in Phillip Capital, the beauty about Phillip Capital is that the company gives you the freedom to brand yourself. Phillip Capital fully supports your branding and social media marketing activities. The company even went to the extent of engaging external consultants to come in and to teach us how to harness the power of social media. Now, earlier this year, I won an award. It's the Social Media Marketing Award. As my chairman, Mr. Lim Hua Min, he recognizes the importance of branding. And I was one of the early successful adopters of social media marketing. But most importantly, in this slide, if you can remember what I say, the most important thing I want to tell you is that if you are able to brand yourself properly and make an impact out there, I can assure you, you will gain a lot of satisfaction in your career. On a side note, I just want to share with you, many of the financial institutions out there does not allow their salesperson to brand themselves, period. Can we move on to the next slide? Stay hungry, stay foolish. I'm sure everybody knows where this quote came from. It came from the late Steve Jobs. Now, Phillip Capital is a very forward-looking company. And again, my chairman, at his core, is not just a stockbroker, he's a very entrepreneurial businessman. Phillip Capital is also in the running for the Singapore Digital Bank, and that to me is exciting times ahead. Now, the world is ever-changing, and the company meets the challenge by continuously evolving. As a salesperson, a very forward-looking company also compels me to be always on my toes, to up my game or to up my level to add value to the clients. So when we say stay hungry, what we mean is that we must be always willing to learn new things. Stay foolish, we must always be learning to try out new ways to up our game to add value to our customers. So for those out there who is willing to stay hungry and stay foolish, come and join me at Phillip Capital. I hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Why, thanks, Thomas, for sharing. I think Thomas brought up a very good point that I think personal branding in this industry is very important. So I think I've met Thomas a couple of years ago as well, right? Back at Phillip Capital at his office. Yeah. So I know him for a few years. Okay, now let's move on, to what are the key differences between Phillip Capital and, other insurance-related financial institutions. Could Lini share a bit on that as well? Sorry, Lini, you're mute. Yeah.
Yep. I think Francis would be in a better position to share this part with his many years of experience.
Thanks for passing the ball, Lini. That was a very nice one. Yeah, sure. I'll be happy to do that. After a while, I mean, I've been sitting here for a while, listening to exciting tales from Thomas, getting a bit steep. So, yeah, pretty much what Thomas said about, you know, staying hungry and staying foolish. With the multiple platform and the multiple product, we strive, like what we said earlier. Now we're not talking about just meeting clients' single needs. We're talking about meeting clients' multiple needs, talking about increasing stickability, and all this within a regulated regime is not easy to achieve. All right, I think as you all know, the financial institution in Singapore is probably the most highly regulated industry, around. And MAS keeps a very close look over us, and they would only issue licenses when they feel that it is appropriate. And over in Phillip, we are very fortunate that we are probably one of the very rare few, all right, that are able to hold 3 different licenses: the trading license, the financial advisory license, as well as the portfolio license. So each of them would help you meet your client's needs. And like Lini mentioned earlier, it could also even be a combination of 2. All right. And trust me, when 1 plus 1 in Phillip, it's beyond 2. It's greater than 2. All right. Shall we move on? Now, earlier on, Lini spoke about active and recurring income. And I think she has given you all a very good picture of the importance of recurring income. I just want to reiterate that as an entrepreneur, recurring income is very important because it is about sustainability, right? As an entrepreneur, when you venture into a business, I think the first question you got to ask yourself is, would this business be sustainable? If this business is not sustainable, you might want to think twice. Right? And recurring income is the solution to sustainability in our business. You also heard Thomas speak about, weathering through different and tough economic times. When times are not favorable for investment, there are risk management products to offer to the client. The client's life cycle changes over time. There is also product there for them. Now, recurring income is perpetual, it's passive, it's sustainable. Active income depends and affected by a lot of external factors, be it economical factors, political factors, many factors. Take COVID-19, for example. I can testify that during this period of time, all right, some of our business lines did get affected. But the interesting thing about this COVID situation is that our revenue, in fact, we have already achieved our last year's annual revenue by, I think, August this year, in the midst of COVID. That is what we meant by diversity. So I'm not going to go through the details on the category of active or life income, recurring income. I'll leave it for you to take a look, I think, and we can move on to the next slide. Right. Thomas is a good example. He's been a remiser. Now he's contemplating on being a financial advisor. But I must add to one more point. Even though Thomas is not a licensed financial advisor, he does know quite a fair bit of the advisory wealth business. He worked quite closely with our financial advisors in the course of his trading, and they do help each other manage their clients. But of course, you can choose to be a single license, or you can choose to be a dual license. All right, let's move on.
Thank you for sharing, Francis. I think it's interesting to see from perspective of having both active income and recurring income. To me, I mean, it seems like a best of both worlds kind of thing as well. So I think the next thing on audience's mind is actually the part that we haven't really addressed yet, which is the portfolio manager track. Right. So this part is one of the career tracks that Phillip Capital offers as well. So today we have portfolio manager Ryan Tan, who has 27 years of stock investment experience. Right, Ryan, could you share more?
Hello everyone. Good evening. My name is Ryan Tan. So I'm a portfolio manager with Phillip Capital. I'm licensed by MAS to do fund managing activities. Okay, a quick introduction of myself. I graduated as a mechanical engineer from NTU, worked as an engineer and related role for almost 8 years before I joined the finance industry. I started early. I started investment as early as when I was in JC. So as of now, I have almost 27 years of investing experience. So after Lehman Brothers, I thought it was time for me to embark on my financial career. So I joined Phillip Capital as a TR with the sole purpose of trading for myself. Because during that time, the brokerage's cost was high. It was not like unlike now, where the cost is low. So I joined Phillip Capital to save costs on my trading costs. And I progressed to become a portfolio manager in 2017. That was about 3 years ago. At the time, I was the second portfolio manager in Phillip Capital under this program. Let's move on. So, road to a portfolio manager. What is a portfolio manager? So, a portfolio manager work is to manage 100% discretionary investment accounts, meaning that a client will pass us their money and we have the full discretion to choose what to buy for them, what to sell for them, when to buy and when to sell. So including asset classes like equities, bonds, options, futures, and forex exchange. So through my years of investing, I realized that if I can be successful in investment for myself, I can help others too. So for example, year-to-date return for my portfolio this year is about 85%, despite COVID-19. So what it means is that if someone hand me 100,000 on 1st Jan 2020 this year, his investment will be about 185,000 as of today. So to know more about me, you can look for me on LinkedIn. Just have to search on the Ryan Tan and portfolio manager. Let's move on. Okay, who is suitable to become a portfolio manager? I think first of all, you must have passion for investment, that you like to everything about investment, and you have started and you have a good understanding of financial markets and products, such as global equity markets, the various financial products, derivative products on the market itself. The working hours are flexible, but it's pretty long. So I went from working about 8 hours a day to about 12 to 14 hours a day as a portfolio manager. It's pretty tough. Okay, other than that, I think you need to have a good track record and ability to be profitable in your personal investment. This is important as the interests of your client and yourself are aligned. So if you can make money for yourself and you can help your client make money, then the interests are aligned, and then you find that your client will be happy with your performance. So this portfolio manager role can be a potential progression for current equity analysts, traders, trading representative, or financial advisory representative. So when you are ready to move on in your career, I think this is a very good option. Let's move on. So why Phillip Capital? In my opinion, Phillip Capital has the whole career roadmap from trading rep, financial advisory rep, to portfolio manager. Where you want to be depends on what's your strength and preference, right? So if customer service is your strength, so maybe to start as a TR or a FA rep will be suitable for you. But if investment is your strength, then you can consider to become a portfolio manager or a fund manager. So all the necessary ingredients are here in Phillip Capital itself. Phillip Capital provide the various career track and also the relevant help to help you embark on this career. Okay, lastly, to conclude, it's really hard work, but the rewards and what you can achieve is unlimited for this role. I think, especially for what I can say for myself. So I think with that, I hand over back to Lini.
Awesome, Ryan. So I think Ryan, you shared something that actually sparked my mind as well, because it was incredible story that you actually graduated from engineering, right? So you actually
Yes,
transited
correct.
into discretionary portfolio manager. So I think right now on all the audience's minds, right, is actually what are the support and resources provided for people who want to even take your path, to be a portfolio manager in the future. So maybe Lini, you can share some light on that as well. What are the support and resources that Phillip Capital offers for new hires?
Thanks, Ethan. Well, I think it's good that I have Thomas and Ryan, really practitioners with Phillip Capital to share their own experience, right? Rather than me telling the audience what we have, but we actually have two of them who are really in the system, right? But for the benefit of all, let me share more on the support and infrastructure. I think at this point of the webinar, many of you may have this question in mind. How do I start? What if I'm not from the industry? Yeah, what if I'm a fresh graduate? Two things: who will teach me, right? Or how do I start earning my income, right? Don't worry, because we have actually specially curated this what we call FAST Start training program. Okay, it's a very comprehensive training program. It covers 12 weeks of training. Don't worry, it's not a full day of 12 weeks. It's mostly just the mornings. Okay, for 12 weeks, meaning 3 months. Okay, where we teach you on soft skills. Okay, like how do you prospect a client? How do you handle objection from customers? How do you close the sale? And of course, on the product training as well. Okay, some of the coverage within these 12 weeks also include IBF, which stands for Institute of Banking and Finance endorsed courses. Okay, so they are of industry standard. We painstakingly select the best course providers out there that has been endorsed by IBF to give you the best training, that is recognized as the industry standards. Of course, leading back to Francis' earlier slides of us having so many investor centers in Singapore, there is also a chance for hands-on training where you are attached to certain investor center for you to have a hands-on experience on handling walk-in, handling client inquiries to perform your initial sales. Okay, so within these 3 months, there'll be a lot of mentoring, there'll be a lot of role playing where you won't be just thrown into the sea there to swim for yourself. Of course, again, linking back to what Thomas mentioned earlier on, other than doing your own digital marketing and branding yourself, the company also takes a strong initiative to work together with you, okay, with our reps to profile them, okay, to make their presence available in the digital world out there. These are some of our reps that we have featured. Yeah, some of them prefer to just share a short posting on LinkedIn. Some of them are very good in writing articles. They share articles. Some of them even share educational videos. Yeah, so we package, we beautify everything, and then we put it up there, and we make you searchable on Google. That's important, right? So when all of us are sleeping, let social media and digital marketing do your marketing for you. We are almost coming to the end of the sharing. We welcome all of you to be part of this winning team, whether your passion is in financial advisory or trading representative, or you're looking to do what Thomas is trying to pursue, which is a wealth manager. That means you do all the spectrum of financial needs, or pursuing what Brian is doing as a portfolio manager. We welcome all of you. If you have any questions, if you have any doubts, come to us and we'll be more than happy to share more with you. I would like to share with you again real numbers, okay, of actual figures of our monthly income of the different tracks, okay. The first one you have there are TR, meaning stock and shares, okay. That's the monthly income over the past 3 years. And then you go to the middle of the slide is as an FA, okay, where you provide insurance and investment, okay. You can also see the average of monthly income throughout the past 3 years. And of course, at the bottom is what Ethan called the best of both worlds. You're a wealth manager where you can provide from stock and shares to insurance to investment. I think numbers speak for itself, right? You can see just relating it again to my Victor example earlier, okay, your income substantially actually improve as you progress to dual license, okay. So Thomas is on the right track, definitely. Okay, that's the option to kickstart. That's the average of all our representatives. What is important is you must know sky is not the limit. They say sky is the limit, right? But I think sky should not be the limit. This is sharing with you the top 5% monthly income, again, of our TR, trading representative, our FA, financial advisory representative, and again, those wealth managers. Okay, again, we are showcasing to you their average monthly income for the top 5%. To just end off, the message that we want to share with you is it doesn't matter what is your background. It doesn't mean you must be from the financial industry to be successful. Why I'm showing this particular photo is actually, if you have the time, you can later on, scan the QR code to watch this video. It's about one of our rep who used to be a flight attendant, cabin crew, okay, and she actually switched to become a financial planner, a financial advisor, okay, 17 years ago. And today she is doing very well. What we are trying, this video is really to give her support out there for many of our friends, yeah, that has been very heavily impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. The aviation industry, the hospitality industry is almost coming to a stop. It doesn't mean the end of the world. There is really plenty of opportunities out there for them. You would see it in the media. Some of them go into training, some of them go into healthcare. And for those who love numbers, join us as a financial planner and wealth manager. Okay, and more information, feel free to reach us at the following website and email. I think at this point I'll just hand back to Ethan.
All right, thank you, Lenny, for sharing. I think it's a very insightful sharing of the the options and the resources that are provided by many of your new hires, right? So let's move on to the Q&A section, right? So I think one of the questions that a person is asking, is there any age limit for this?
By regulatory requirement, the candidate must be above the age of 21. So that's the minimum age requirement. There's no maximum age requirement. I have remisiers that are well into their 70s and their 80s. Our chairman is into his 70s. As long as you have, an active mind and you can value add, we will be happy to speak to you.
All right, thank you, Francis. So you guys know there's no age limit other than being the legal age of 31. So okay, the next question, right, would be for Ryan. So this question is Mr. Ken is actually asking, Ryan, after working for 8 years as a mechanical engineer, how did you actually decide to step out from your expertise to a totally different new environment?
I think for me, it's a bit different. So actually, I already know this is what I wanted to do when I was in JC. So I studied mechanical engineering because the career counselor at that point of time was saying that you don't have to be studying finance to be a banker. Most of the top bankers are actually engineers. So I took his advice and embarked on the engineering career. So since then, after I graduated, I engineered my way back to the finance industry, which I wanted to be. So that's what the 8 years was about. So I actively seek industry development work other than just pure engineering work, so that I can understand the whole like the consumer electronic industry before I come back to the finance industry. So that part of the work helped me in my investment work as of now. So for me, it's a very conscious effort to be in the fund managing industry. So I did not like decided to switch halfway actually. Yeah.
I think to add on, I think Ryan, you can see that he's actually a very passionate guy, that he really has love for investments, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, awesome. Okay, let's move on to the next question, right? So this question, I think it's for Lenny and Francis. So what is actually the training plan that when one joins as a TR that we need to actually get the license first? And his question is, will it be sponsored in a way?
Lini, you want to take that?
Yes, there are some papers that is facilitated again by IBF. I mentioned earlier, Institute of Banking and Finance, where you take some the modules that's required and regulated under MAS. There are several papers which I won't go into technicals, but we actually cover your exam fees upon passing.
Okay, got it. All right, so the next question, Edmund asks, can we switch from the TR to the portfolio manager role in the career progression? I think the answer is obvious, but maybe Lini, you want to reiterate again?
That's exactly Ryan's path, actually, right? Ryan was
yes,
at first
correct,
TR.
yeah.
I think it's very interesting that Ryan, which I think resonate with a lot of you, started TR not because for a job, but because of his love in trading, right? So I think many of you are in investing not because you love trading, you love stock and shares, and how wonderful it is to turn what you love into a career as well, which is what Ryan did, right? He started off as PR not to really look after or serve clients. It was for his own trading. I think he helped his family members and friends who say, hey, you're so good at managing money, why don't you manage for us as well? So that's how he started. And is that 5 years later, then he progressed to become a portfolio manager.
Right. Thanks for reiterating that. All right, let's move on to the next question. So I think this question is about nationality. So this this attendee asked, can a Malaysian without Singapore work pass be eligible to actually join the fast track training program?
Okay, I'll take that. It is not the eligibility to join the fast track program is not so much correlated to Malaysians with no work permit per se. I think the correlation for Malaysian with no work permit would be more to the licensing. All right, because we do have staff that are on work permit, but this evening what we are sharing, this opportunity is more on entrepreneurial nature, whereby we are looking for entrepreneurs on commission basis. They manage their own business. We have another cohort of salespeople that are salaried. But if this person is interested in a sales career but is a Malaysian, I would suggest that leave your contact with us. We can take it offline, from here. Because the licensing requirement for fully commissioned, it's got to be either a PR or a Singapore citizen.
Okay, Francis, thanks for sharing. So, the attendee who actually asked this question, you can actually drop them an email, right? So, I think the email, let me put it in the comments as well, all right? So that everybody can share. Give me a minute. This is the email. All right, so do drop them an email regarding this question. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. So another attendee asked, can I join part-time while holding a full-time job? I think he might be meaning, the trading rep license or the financial advisory one.
To me, there's no part-time or full-time. Do you have time or no time? There is no such thing as part-time or full-time. The industry would sometimes I hear people say, oh, I want to come in and test a bit. To me, the industry will put you to the test. At the end of the day, if you don't have enough time, all right, then you're going to encounter some difficulties. But if you have enough time, that's perfectly fine. But as far as holding a full-time job, our stand is that the full-time job must not have direct conflict of interest to the nature of our business. The regulation also prohibits us from working with the people who are real estate agents. All right, that is not because we don't want to, it's that MES do not allow us to. All right, and one or two other specific role jobs that we are not allowed our people to engage in. All right. So other than that, to me, it's not about part-time or full-time. It's have time or no time.
Great. Thanks, Francis. All right, let's move on to the next question. So this question is from Daniel. All right, he asks, what are the first 3 specific things or steps to take to be a trading rep?
Okay, I think I can answer Daniel's question. When you make that decision to join us as a trading rep, right? Actually, the other than the Fast Start program, interestingly, what we didn't share that in the slides, but we also have this allowance program, Fast Start Allowance program. But this is more for fresh to industry. Okay, that means career switches. Okay, you are coming from a completely different industry altogether, or from fresh grads. okay, where we give you a allowance on a monthly basis to kickstart your career as a FA or TR or PM, yeah, and that would of course come with a lower commission because the commission is then used as part of the allowance. Okay, those who are experienced will come in with a full commission, which is a lot more attractive, and then there is no allowance. Okay, now to answer back the question, of course, you can simultaneously attend the Fast Start program and take on the 3 papers that is required under the MAS regime, yeah, to be a TR trading representative. Okay, because it is only upon clearing the exam and getting your license that you can start functioning as a trading representative.
Okay, thanks, Lini. All right, let's move on to the next question, right? So Michael has a question. So Michael says that he currently holds an FA license, have a M6 and M6A certification. So what would he need to actually do to qualify for the portfolio manager role?
Lini, back to you again.
Okay, for portfolio manager, sorry, what is the license again? You say that
FA license and also M6 and M6A.
Okay, for portfolio manager license, fund management license, the paper that you need is M3 and M6. Okay, so M3 is the fund management license. So that's the additional paper that you have to clear. You already have the M6, right? Yeah, so you just need to clear the M3.
Okay, awesome. That question is answered. Okay, we have room for another 2 more questions. So I think the other questions is about, this attendee is asking, is track record of personal investment a prerequisite to a portfolio manager path?
I think, of course, if you have good track record, right? We don't use that as a prerequisite, right? But you know yourself, your income would and whether your follower, your clientele, right, comes from track record, right, or your contact. Usually the portfolio manager track is not the what you call the entry level track. Yeah, usually they have been already serving clients or serving at least friends or relatives, in the case of Ryan, right, their own trade. So your income really comes from the investment amount that you're able to bring in, right? So in order to be able to convince your clients to park their money to you, you then of course need to have a certain good track record to convince your potential customer to put their savings, their hard-earned savings with you. Yeah, we don't judge that, as your customer will judge you.
Yeah, well said, Lini. Thanks for answering that question. Okay, we have time for 2 more questions. Okay, this following question is by Daniel again. How long does the initial process take to be a TR?
Some of our very enthusiastic candidates, they even took their exam before they even, I mean, if they already know those are that's the path he wants to take. The faster you clear your papers, the faster you can be licensed. Okay, of course, once you have cleared your papers, we will then collate all the necessary documentation for lodgement with MAS for licensing. Okay, if it's a clear case, no outstanding any credit issue or whatsoever, it can be as fast as a week, 5 working days. Yeah, but if there are a lot of subsequent documentation that may be required from the regulator point of view, that's where it may take slightly longer.
Thanks, Lini, for answering that. Okay, last question. So this attendee asks, can I confirm that the Fast Start program provides all the necessary certification for the dual license role?
No, I think we need to, sorry, maybe if there's any miscommunication. The Fast Start program is designed after the candidate has completed their licensing papers and ready to engage client. So the Fast Start program, like what Lini spoke about, is to equip the candidate with soft skills as well as technical know-how to be able to go out there and procure business. As far as the licensing examinations are concerned, we do provide some kind of like typical Singaporean 10-year series kind of stuff, mock questions that they can read through and study on their own and then go for the exam. So that is what we call the pre-licensing engagement. What Lini talked about in the Fast Start is the post-licensing engagement.
I see. So I think it's very clear now that licensing and also the fast track program is actually two different things. Yeah. Okay. So I think we have come to, we're a bit short on time. We have come to the, the end of this webinar. So I know you guys, probably have more burning questions. So do drop both Lini and Francis, an email, entrepreneur@phillip.com.sg. Just drop them an email and you can ask all the questions you want. All right. So with that, I want to thank all the our attendees for attending this, or taking the time out to actually listen to our webinar, and also thank to Francis, Lini, Thomas, and Ryan for being our special guests to share about their experiences and their career choices and paths. All right. So with that, we will end this webinar. Everybody have a good evening, and this recorded version will be on YouTube as well. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you, Ethan.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. See ya. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.